Welcome to Gray Matter Reports. Today we decode the complex reality of events that unfold around us. In the dim light of a sterile room, the air thickens with anticipation. A subject sits across the table, an enigma wrapped in layers of societal expectations. Each flicker of their eyes betrays an inner world, one that dances between shadows and reason. The mind of this individual is a labyrinth, constructed from fragmented experiences and distorted perceptions. Behavioral economics offers a lens through which we can dissect such complexities. Consider the paradox of choice. An excess of options can lead to paralysis rather than empowerment. For this individual, the choices made were not simply personal. They were calculated, driven by an insatiable need for control. Each decision, a thread woven into a dark tapestry, signifies a rejection of societal norms. The subject's background reveals a mosaic of influences. Childhood experiences, often brushed aside, echo through their psyche like a haunting refrain. Early exposure to trauma can forge pathways in the brain, leading to a predisposition towards certain antisocial profiles. In a sense, they become a product of their environment. The tension between nature and nurture plays out like a tragic opera, with each act revealing deeper layers of dysfunction. As the conversation unfolds, the clinical gaze of the observer sharpens. The subject's responses are measured, almost rehearsed. This is not mere instinct, but a strategic play, a calculated performance designed to manipulate perceptions. The individual's understanding of social cues, honed to a fine point, allows for a seamless interaction that belies the chaos within. Biological evidence emerges as another thread in this intricate narrative. Neurotransmitter imbalances, genetic predispositions, and environmental triggers intertwine, creating a perfect storm of behavioral anomalies. The brain, a complex organ, reflects its environment in ways that are both fascinating and alarming. Each synapse firing in response to a lifetime of stimuli, crafting a reality that diverges sharply from the norm. Yet even within this clinical framework, there lies a haunting question. What drives such an individual to pursue their path? The thrill of evasion, perhaps, or the allure of power over the unpredictable nature of life. It becomes a paradoxical dance, where each move is both a step toward freedom and a plunge into darkness. As the session progresses, the observer recognizes a chilling truth. The mask this subject wears is not just a facade. It is an armor forged from years of adaptation, a shield against the vulnerability they cannot afford to display. In this somber exploration, one thing becomes painfully clear. The lines between sanity and madness blur, leaving behind only a haunting echo of what it means to be human. The con artist glides through life, a phantom in plain sight. They wear a mask crafted from charm and deceit, concealing an intricate web of manipulation. Behavioral economics offers a lens to scrutinize their artifice. Each interaction is a transaction, each smile a calculated risk. At the core of this deceptive persona lies an antisocial profile. These individuals often exhibit an uncanny ability to read their targets, exploiting vulnerabilities with surgical precision. Like seasoned chess players, they anticipate moves, calculating the potential gain of each maneuver. It's a game of perception and belief, where trust becomes a commodity to be traded, not earned. Consider the psychology of scarcity. The con artist thrives in environments steeped in desperation. They position themselves as saviors, promising solutions that seem too good to be true. This is not mere chance. It is a deliberate strategy. They understand the principles of loss aversion. People will cling to the illusion of gain, even when it defies logic. A fleeting promise can draw in the most skeptical. Yet, behind the bravado lies a clinical detachment. The individual remains an observer of human frailty, their empathy dulled by self-interest. The mask they wear is not just a disguise, it is a barrier between their reality and that of their targets. Emotional investments are irrelevant in their calculus. Every tear shed by a deceived individual reinforces their resolve, each heartbreak an echo of triumph. In studies of behavioral economics, the phenomenon of anchoring surfaces prominently. Con artists employ this to great effect. They establish a reference point, perhaps an initial investment or a seemingly trivial favor, around which the expectations of their targets revolve. This manipulation skews judgment and perception, allowing the con artist to dictate the narrative. Trust, once given, becomes a chain that binds the individual to the con. As the con unfolds, the subject's reality shifts. Each new layer of deception conceals the previous one, creating a labyrinthine experience. The con artist's ultimate goal is not merely financial gain, but an intoxicating sense of control. They become the puppeteer, pulling strings with expert finesse, while their targets dance unwittingly to the tune of deceit. In the end, the case conclusion often reveals a stark truth. The mask, while effective, is ultimately a fragile facade. The con artist may evade capture for a time, but the toll of their duplicity weighs heavily. The psychological cost of living behind the mask is profound, a burden that even the most skilled deceivers cannot escape. The con artist, in all their charm, remains a prisoner of their own making, ensnared by the very web they weave. In the shadows of the city, power is currency. The ruthless gang leader thrives in this underworld, a complex tapestry woven from fear, loyalty, and ambition. An antisocial profile emerges, distinct yet not uncommon. He possesses a keen understanding of human behavior, honed through years of navigating social hierarchies in environments where trust is a liability. Behind the bravado lies a calculated mind, observing the dance of vulnerability and dominance. Each interaction is a chess match. The leader anticipates moves, exploiting weaknesses with precision. Behavioral economics illustrates this dynamic, where perceived value often outweighs actual merit. In his world, loyalty is purchased through intimidation, and allegiance is a transaction, one that demands both respect and fear. His followers are a reflection of his psyche, mirroring the same ruthless ethos. They are not merely subordinates, they are extensions of his will, each driven by their own motivations, be it survival, ambition, or the intoxicating allure of power. The gang operates like a well-oiled machine, each cog essential yet expendable. The leader understands this. There are no permanent attachments in his realm, only temporary alliances. A clinical analysis reveals a strategic mindset. He assesses risk versus reward, often favoring aggressive tactics that yield immediate results. In the realm of crime, the incentive structures are stark. The promise of wealth and status can overshadow the moral implications of illegal activities. It is a rational choice theory in action, where the benefits of aggression often outweigh the potential consequences. Yet, beneath the facade of dominance lies an intricate web of insecurities. The leader's past is marred by abandonment and betrayal, experiences that have shaped a relentless drive for control. Each act of aggression serves a dual purpose. It cements his authority while masking deep-seated vulnerabilities. This paradox fuels a cycle of violence and retribution, reinforcing his position but also isolating him further. The gang leader is not merely a figure of intimidation. He is a product of his environment, a living testament to the theories of behavioral economics. His choices, while seemingly erratic, are steeped in a calculated logic that speaks to the heart of human irrationality. The mask he wears is one of invincibility, yet it conceals the fragility of a man constantly teetering on the edge of his own psyche. In the end, the relentless pursuit of power leaves a chilling imprint. The individual remains an enigma, defined by the very traits that elevate him within the criminal hierarchy. He is both a maestro and a puppet, orchestrating chaos while ensnared by his own design. The world watches, captivated by a narrative that is as tragic as it is compelling. The room is sterile, filled with the scent of antiseptic and the weight of unspoken truths. A flickering fluorescent light casts harsh shadows, illuminating the walls that hold secrets of the mind. Inside, we delve into the psyche of the individual, often shrouded in darkness. An antisocial profile emerges, not merely a collection of actions, but an intricate web of decisions driven by a warped rationale. Behavioral economics provides a lens through which we can scrutinize these decisions. It is within the framework of perceived utility that the subject navigates a world devoid of empathy. Each choice, calculated. Each interaction, a transaction stripped of genuine connection. The individual experiences the world through a skewed perception, where social norms are mere guidelines, not mandates. Imagine a chessboard, each piece representing a choice. The subject moves with precision, executing strategies with a chilling detachment. This is not the mind of a typical player. It is a mind that calculates risk and reward without the emotional stakes that tether most to humanity. In their world, the consequences of actions are abstract, akin to the results of a mathematical equation. devoid of moral weight. As we peel back the layers, we encounter the biological evidence, neurotransmitters, brain structures, and genetic predispositions that intertwine to form a unique psychological portrait. These components do not excuse behavior. Rather, they provide context. The individual is often driven by an insatiable need for control, a symptom of a deeper existential void. Each action is a desperate attempt to reclaim authority in a chaotic world. In this clinical dissection, we find that the subject's motivations are driven not by mere impulse, but by a narrative shaped by history and circumstance. Childhood experiences, social exclusion, and environmental factors play a pivotal role. The individual learns to navigate a landscape marked by distrust, where vulnerability is weakness and strength is dominance. The mask they wear becomes a shield, a defense mechanism crafted through years of emotional neglect. Yet amidst the calculated chaos, there exists a paradox. The individual seeks recognition, not in the form of approval, but through notoriety. Public perception becomes a currency, a means to validate their existence. In their mind, the ultimate case conclusion is not merely a resolution. It is a testament to their intellect, a final move on that chessboard, leaving an indelible mark on the fabric of society. As we draw the curtain on this exploration, we are left with a haunting realization. The mask we wear often conceals not just our identities, but the very essence of our choices. The narrative of the antisocial profile is one of complexity, a chilling reminder of the depths of human behavior, where reason and madness intertwine in a somber dance. The glow of a computer screen illuminates a darkened room. Shadows stretch across the walls, a stark contrast to the digital world thriving within. Here the cybercriminal operates, an individual cloaked in anonymity. The mask they wear is not of fabric but of code, an intricate web of ones and zeros that shields them from the consequences of their actions. Behavioral economics offers a lens through which we can view this individual, a mind driven by the pursuit of gain, yet marred by isolation. They are motivated by a complex interplay of reward and risk. Each keystroke is a calculated decision, a dance between desire and consequence. The thrill of defiance against societal norms fuels their actions. In this realm, morality is a construct, easily bypassed in the pursuit of a digital empire. Consider the economic principle of loss aversion. The cybercriminal weighs potential gains against the fear of loss. When the stakes are virtual, the barriers dissolve. The subject becomes emboldened, believing themselves invulnerable. They navigate through layers of encryption, through firewalls like a ghost slipping through walls. Each successful breach is a validation of their skill, a momentary high that overshadows the looming threat of exposure. Yet, behind this digital facade lies a fractured psyche. The isolation of their existence creates a chasm. Relationships fade into ghostly echoes, replaced by online avatars and fleeting interactions. The individual may not recognize the toll of this detachment. Their world, once rich with human connection, has narrowed to the blink of a cursor. In this clinical detachment, we find the heart of the antisocial profile, a longing for validation cloaked in hostility towards societal structures. The implications of their actions ripple outward. Each breach of data, each stolen identity, sparks a chain reaction. The emotional toll on unsuspecting subjects is often overlooked. Behavioral economics highlights how decisions ripple through a network, influencing others in unforeseen ways. The cybercriminal's existence is a paradox, thriving within anonymity while sowing chaos in the lives of others. As we delve deeper into the psyche of this individual, we uncover a longing for significance masked by the guise of control. They wield power over a world that feels increasingly out of reach. The cybercriminal embodies a modern tragedy, a figure of both fear and fascination, navigating a landscape where the lines between right and wrong blur into a murky gray. In their pursuit, they remain both predator and prey, trapped in a cycle of their own creation. The sun rises, casting long shadows across a suburban neighborhood. A familiar scene unfolds. Children wait for the school bus, parents sip coffee, and the mundane rhythm of life continues. Yet beneath this veneer of normalcy lies an unsettling truth. The everyday criminal exists among us, often indistinguishable from the ordinary. Behavioral economics paints a complex picture. It reveals the motivations that drive individuals toward antisocial behavior. These motivations often stem from a cocktail of environmental influences and personal experiences. They are not monstrous figures lurking in the dark. They are neighbors, colleagues, and friends. The mask they wear is crafted from familiarity, disarming those around them. Consider the classic example of the individual who embezzles funds from a company. At first glance, their actions appear purely selfish. However, when examined through the lens of behavioral economics, a different narrative emerges. This individual may perceive their actions as justified, a necessary means to escape financial despair. The internal dialogue is laced with rationalizations. "I deserve this," they tell themselves, as they slip deeper into a moral quagmire. The act becomes a calculated risk, a gamble on their future. In another scenario, we encounter the individual who engages in petty theft. The choice may seem impulsive, a fleeting moment of weakness, yet the underlying factors are far more intricate. This subject may have grown up in an environment where resources were scarce. The decision to steal, in their mind, is not an ethical breach, but a survival tactic. Behavioral economics teaches us that scarcity can warp perception, leading to choices that defy societal norms. The clinical understanding of these individuals reveals a chilling reality. They often exhibit traits of cognitive dissonance. Their actions contradict their self-image, creating a psychological strain. To alleviate this discomfort, they may resort to further rationalization, entrenching themselves deeper in their choices. The mask they wear shields them from the repercussions of their actions, but also distances them from their moral compass. As we dissect the psyche of the everyday criminal, we uncover layers of complexity. Each decision, whether large or small, is influenced by a myriad of factors. The interplay of personal history, societal pressures, and innate tendencies creates a tapestry of behavior that is both fascinating and disturbing. The mask is not merely a disguise. It is a survival mechanism, a means to navigate a world where the line between right and wrong is often blurred. In this intricate dance of psychology and economics, we find a reflection of our own humanity. The everyday criminal, in their fragmented morality, embodies the struggles we all face. The masks we wear may differ, but the motivations can resonate deeply. As we peer into the abyss of their choices, we are reminded that the human experience is often more complex than it appears.